Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, December 28th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see over here will be moving around. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol MARA. And the monster move continues. Talked about this yesterday and how, yeah, it pulled back, but within the grand scheme of things, that pullback there was totally healthy. Now, did I know that for sure this big move was going to happen today? Of course not. Nobody knows that. But overall, it was healthy, and it proved to be healthy. And now we have another situation of higher highs and higher lows. So updates need to be made. Going to go ahead and get rid of that level. And the first key update comes just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So one of the newest areas of support is at 27.77. What I'm actually going to do is actually adjust this level up here to an even higher up level of support at the 29.50 mark. And what I would call that the ideal level. I mean, if the price were to stay above that, it would show that the chart is absolute max health. With that being said, not the end of the world if the price falls below it, because as I've said in past videos, the key level to continue to watch is this purple line right there, that 50-period moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So from a broad scope of things, as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher, then the overall trend is still perfectly fine. Next one here, ticker symbol BETS. Another day of massive volume, even more so than yesterday. I think it was over 2 billion shares today, but the uptrend continues, higher highs and higher lows. So I'm going to get a couple updates. First up, I'm just going to adjust this area of resistance upwards and call the initial level right there at the 0.0155 mark. This was essentially the bottom part of this little consolidation. So gapped up, and then when it pulled back, it tried to recover back upward several times. You can see once there, another time there, and then this afternoon just hung right below that area. So if there is going to be any sort of turnaround and potential to put in those new highs, well, then, of course, yes, you're going to want to have to break that new high right there. But even before you focus on that, I think that the key dynamic is all about 0.0155 and can the price break above there. And while there are no guarantees, if the price can break that red line, especially if it's a high volume break, then I think you got to have that. Think you have that probabilities in your favor that the price not only goes up to this previous high right there, but then potentially breaks through it. But one step at a time, the price first got to get back up to 0.0155, and then it's got to be able to break it with some good solid volume. In terms of areas of support, nothing new here to report. Still have this initial level right there at 0093 as that first key level, and then as I just talked about with MARA. Just keep an eye on that purple line there, and as time goes by, that line will move higher and higher. So from more so the broad scope of things, as long as the price stays above that purple line, that's what you want to see. But in my opinion, at least, the most interesting dynamic here is 0.0155 and whether or not the price can get a good high volume break of it. Next one here, ticker symbol NKLA. And overall, a nice move today from a technical standpoint, more so in regards to this red line here, which I've been tracking time and time again. And you can see right there, price did break above the red line, and then very, very nice move upwards. Problem is, these gains have essentially been given up and back down to the trend line. It's gone. The good news is at least the price hasn't fallen back inside of the trend line, but it's also very close. And that's what you don't want to see. You want to see breakouts maintain themselves. You want to see breakouts occur, and then for the price to go right back to where it was. And like I said, that's what's being threatened right now. So if the price does drop back inside of the red line, does that mean the entire chart's destroyed? I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that this breakout has just proven to be a complete, fake move. And, it's kind of back to the drawing board. But like I said, to be fair, the price is right at that level, and you can't quite say it's gone back inside of it. If the price does try to recover back upwards, then what I would say is one of the newest areas of resistance at this point is this level right here at 96 cents. If you look back here, you can see 96 presented an area of resistance. And then once again, right there. So overall, nice breakout. Now it's just kind of a question of, was that actually a true breakout, or is that just some sort of, kind of fake move? And right now, looking like potential fake move if it does drift back inside of that range. So keep an eye on that dynamic. Next one here, ticker symbol FWBI. Nasty, nasty looking chart. But for the long-time viewers, I'm going to say next, there can be opportunity in the ugly. Now, let me be very clear. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying up around here, or you bought the dip right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well, then from that standpoint, the chart is very, very, you're in a bad spot. So hopefully you had a stop loss. But just looking at things from an outside standpoint, yes, this pullback here, very, very ugly, very, very nasty. But look right where the price is at right now. basically right at that pink line with the purple line not too far below. And that pink line representing the 200 period moving average. Now, there are no guarantees, as I've said, and we'll probably say it another dozen times, but is it valid? Is it logical to think that the price, after a big move up, again, this is still a bullish context in the sense of huge move up, now a pullback, but could it come down to that support and get a bounce upwards? That is a certainly plausible scenario because that 200 period is a very famous level out there. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but I don't think anybody would be shocked if the price were to bounce off of that 200 period moving average. So from a risk reward standpoint, you're looking at an interesting situation. Assuming you can be disciplined and honor the stop loss, you could be looking at very minor risk relative to if you do get some sort of bounce and turnaround, the potential upside big reward. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and overall it's hanging in there. And as I've been talking about, looking like a sideways channel, and that has held true. Now today, I would say the upper side of the channel got weakened because the price did actually break above it and stayed above it for a while, but ultimately the price fell back below, and you can see as soon as it fell back below it, that red line went right back into acting as resistance. So the sideways channel is still in play. Again, the one kind of minor tweak that I would add is that I would agree that the upper part of the channel probably has been weakened up some, given that the price was able to break above it and stay above it. But nonetheless, the top of that channel at $6.20 still is holding strong as the price has fallen back inside of the channel. As far as the supports are concerned, nothing new here to report. Still down there at $5.95. Price isn't anywhere close to it. But overall, the sideways channel remains in full effect. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol BKKT. Very nice pattern here, very nice move. So let's get some things drawn into play. So right now there's a pretty well-defined area of resistance there right across the top, up around, we'll call it $2.50. And then along with that, you have a nice little lower part of the pattern down here where you have this former breakout and you get a nice little uptrend right there. Let me change that to green to represent more so the support. And then make the pattern easier to see. Let's convert it to one color. So again, we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right there. For you golfers out there trying to make it more visual, put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid? Is it plausible that the price comes up here and breaks to the top side, that break, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but if that break occurs, then that in of itself could create additional buying pressure. That is certainly a plausible scenario. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, ROI, same exact idea. So I'm going to go through this very quickly and honor your time, as I'm not going to sit here and just repeat myself because I literally just talked about the same pattern. Now, is it the same exact look? Not the same exact, but the overall idea is the same. So you have a big move up, you have some consolidation, we have our resistance, we have the support, we have the big move up, we have the golf hole down here, and another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be a penny stock. So maybe you only trade penny stocks, but like bull pennants. So if that's the case, then definitely keep an eye on ROI. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Very, very nice move today as you got the breakout through this level of resistance, but I'm pretty stubborn and a bit of a pullback here, but overall things are just fine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. And the first update is just based on that rule, and levels of resistance are broken and closes above. You want to see them act as support, so keep an eye on the 258 mark if this thing does pull back further. In terms of areas of resistance, got to think that the level a lot of people have drawn is just that basic trend line right there. And I emphasize basic because when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, you can get those self-fulfilling prophecies. And I try to just not overcomplicate things. And like I said, I think a lot of people have probably noticed that, drawn that trend line. So still nothing is guaranteed, but in my mind, it becomes a lot more plausible that if the price heads up here and breaks up through it, that break in of itself could very well create some good upside buying pressure. So overall, though, very nice day for Tesla, and we'll see if it can work its way back to that trend line and then potentially push up through. Next one here, BITF. Very, very impressive mover today. And I mean, it's already in a very nice uptrend, but nonetheless has put in some higher highs. And as I speak, has actually broken out through this area of resistance. So this resistance has been broken, which always leads to an exciting question. And that question being, is this the start of something bigger? Now think about that question. If nothing worthwhile is happening, it doesn't make any sense to ask that question. Is this the start of something bigger? Because you could say, is what the start of it? Nothing's happening. But in this situation, it is happening. So yes, from one angle, I understand, well, this is worthless to me because I missed the breakout and I wanted to play the breakout. Fair point, but that it does lead into the next segment to other people out there that they first want to see a breakout so that they can ask that question, is it the start of something even bigger? Now, of course, to be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this is a fake breakout and this thing collapses. But that is a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of something much bigger, and this thing's going to keep ripping and roaring the rest of the week. We'll only see what happens, or, only time will tell, but that's the whole idea of a watch list, to find those unique, to find interesting situations, not rush out and randomly buy stuff, but to watch it and see if it continues to play out. But overall, nice movement here. Very nice volume last 30 minutes, as you can see down there. Got the breakout. So is this indeed the start of something even bigger? We'll see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise, and it just allows you access at a much lower price point. So I'm just going to do a couple of minor adjustments now that we have more data. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance right up to that level at 51.67, and you can see now that when you combine yesterday's movement with right there failing and then up there today failing, for whatever reason 51.67 has shown up to be where the sellers are hanging out, so keep an eye on that. As far as supports, nothing new here. I mean, literally, the power of charts. That line that I put into place yesterday, as you can look at this, bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it. So that is the true power of charts. So needless to say, right around that 51.10 mark, going to be that key area of support. But nothing a whole lot else to say other than essentially a sideways channel form today. Up here acted, as the top of the channel. Down here acted as support, and then it was kind of just a choppy day back and forth. So the big question mark moving forward is this one of these things where it's just going to remain in a sideways channel for the rest of the year, or are the bulls or bears going to make a move where you get a break in one direction or another? But I would say the common denominator, no matter what you think, is there's certainly some very well-defined areas here. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I definitely want you to go get signed up for the free class. It'll be Thursday, December 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as this top 10 lists are concerned, if you enjoy these videos, if you'd like for me to continue to make them, then do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment down below, just say thanks or whatever. And that just communicates to me that you enjoy. And like I said, as long as I know you're enjoying, I'll continue to put in the time and effort to get this videos and these content out to you. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class. Hit that like button, leave a comment down below.